What is going on, lore masters? Today's video was requested by Johnny Kilroy. If you have a breakdown, hypothetical, or any other video you'd like to see, comment below like Johnny did and I will try to get to it. Also, check in the top right, I do polls on almost every video which can impact what kind of videos and how I do those videos in the future. But let's go ahead and get into it. Right before the Battle of Yavin, a conflict broke out over Scarif between the Galactic Empire and the Alliance to Restore the Republic. It is considered the precursor to what began the Galactic Civil War. It is also a battle that the Galactic Empire did not see coming, and the rebellion did not initially intend to engage. Initially suggested by Jan Erso and Captain Cassian Andor, the attack on Scarif was met with the same skepticism by the rebellion that most all operations had been.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
Most leadership within the rebellion was unwilling to engage in large conflicts, feeling the rebellion was not ready. Even the plans of a possible superweapon that were provided by Erso was considered sketchy. There was no solid proof that something as large as a space station that could do what she suggested even existed. Additionally, there was a fear that if such a weapon did exist, then assault would be fruitless. Some in the Rebel Alliance even considered the rebellion over, thinking that there was no way that such a force could be fought. With a stark condemnation from Erso, she left with a handful of rebels who agreed the assault was worth trying and made for Scarif. We will be discussing the ground assault on Scarif in a later video, though you may have watched it first after it's published in the playlist, so for now, let's focus on the space assault. As stated, the leadership of the Rebel Alliance had declined the assault. However, after learning Erso had decided to do it on her own, Admiral Raddus rallied his troops and set for Scarif. The rest of the Rebel Alliance fell in line, knowing that they would have to completely mobilize in order to preserve the rebellion. Upon arriving, Raddus ordered Red and Gold squadrons to defend the fleet, and for Blue Squadron to make for the surface to reinforce the ground assault. It's worth noting here that at this point, if the Alliance had supported the assault at the beginning, many Blue Squadron pilots would not have lost their lives trying to outrun the shield gate as it was closing. Once the gate was closed, an attack by the rebellion on the shield gate had begun. The attack was multi-pronged. A group of T-65B X-Wing starfighters, named Red Squadron, began the attack. They inflicted massive damage, though it came at a cost of several of their own ships. This brought the Imperial lasers and starfighters completely to bear upon them. This was a diversionary tactic, however, when the hole that had been opened up was taken advantage of by Gold Squadron, which had been compromised of BTL Y-Wing starfighters. They promptly began a bombing run. The Y-Wing attack did cause massive damage, however the shield gate still held and the shields were still up. By this time, Imperial capital ships and TIE fighters began to focus their attack on the rebellion cruisers. Seeing what little progress was being made on the shield, Admiral Raddus refocused the Alliance forces to take on the Imperial cruisers. Interestingly enough, Scarif had little tactical advantage for the Alliance. The space battle was really to help buy time for the conflict on the ground and to capture the plans for the Death Star. The rebellion forces were largely outmatched in the space battle and they were taking heavy losses. The flagship, the Profundity, was down to 50% of its initial shielding and dropping. Luckily, Gold Squadron had been granted an opening upon one of the Star Destroyers. Taking the shot, Y-Wings fired a barrage of ion torpedoes, completely crippling the Imperial ship. Rebel Alliance pilot Bodhi Rook contacted the fleet, advising them they would have to bring down the shields to receive the plans that were going to be uploaded. With the Imperial ship crippled, Admiral Raddus had an idea. He ordered one of the Hammerhead ships to ram into the disabled Star Destroyer, causing it to hit one of the functioning Star Destroyers and causing both of them to ram into the shield gate. It was awesome.
Sunlight thrusters, full power! Reverse engines, full power!
This also was the turning point of the space battle. taking down 2 Imperial Star Destroyers in one fell swoop, or hit, as it were. Again, this did turn the tide in the Rebel Alliance's favor, albeit briefly. Along with the Shield Gate, the Empire had only fielded 2 Imperial I-class Star Destroyers. This meant the complete destruction of the Imperial Defense Fleet over Scarif. After the destruction of the Defense Fleet, and the Shield Gate coming down, the Profundity received the plans for the Death Star. And with those plans received, the Alliance prepared to engage into hyperspace. Before they were able to, however, the Death Star arrived under the command of Admiral Tarkin. Knowing that Darth Vader would handle the rebels, he ordered the destruction of the facility on Scarif. Utilizing only a single reactor ignition, he was able to level the Citadel, to the terror of the rebel fleet. With no way of saving their ground forces and the need for the plans to get back to the Alliance, the rebel fleet began to leave the system. That was until the arrival of the Devastator, commanded by Darth Vader. Many of the ships were unable to escape, including those that just rammed into the Devastator as it appeared right in front of them. The Devastator quickly brought its weapons upon the flagship. An errant Nebulon B was eviscerated as it came between the fire of the Devastator and the Profundity. The flagship was quickly disabled and boarded. The crew of the Profundity were able to get the plans to the Tantive 4, which was able to escape, though it would quickly be pursued by the Devastator. The Battle of Scarif was a major victory for the Rebel Alliance, but it came at a great cost. As of the making of this video, the Rebel Alliance had been recorded as losing an untold number of Rebel Marines, Troopers, Pathfinders, X-Wings, and Y-Wing. They additionally lost 1 UT-60D U-Wing starfighter, at least 2 GR-75 medium transports, at least 1 EF-76 Nebulon B frigate, and the Profundity itself. The Imperials had lost their planetary base, though this was destroyed by their own forces, an untold amount of TIE fighters and strikers, the defense fleet of Scarif, which included the Intimidator and Persecutor, 2 Imperial I-class ships, and the Shield Gate. While a victory, the battle was still a blow to the rebellion. The Empire had a near limitless ability to remake ships and get them back into battle. The Rebel Alliance did not have such advantages. But this did begin what we consider the Galactic Civil War and was one of the first major pieces that led to the ultimate defeat of the Empire. What became of the Galactic Empire? Stay tuned so that we can go through those battles as well. Hey guys, if you like this, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to become a lore master and check the poll to see what else you want me to do on the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I wanna find the apprentice, the only chosen one. To free him is my real test, to train him is my call.